I've got coaches coming up to me and asking me, Thomas, I have a business, I'm self-employed, I'm an IT expert, I'm a software developer, but I don't have visibility. I don't have a brand. How the hell do I get more clients that pay me well over the average such that I can reinvest the margin into ads and I can scale up my business to $1 million a year, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million, 10 million, $20 million a year within the next couple of years? And there's a very simple formula to this that explains it exactly, and I will tell you what you really need to establish in order to achieve that goal. And I also will take a real life example that will illustrate in very simple terms what I'm going to be talking about in this video. Stay tuned now. So no matter where you're going to be allocated with your business, whether it's going to be in London, UK, in New York, the US, or somewhere else in Europe or in Asia, in the South and the North, this principle, this simple formula is always valid when it comes to gaining more clients and scaling up your business. By the way, not only IT businesses or software businesses or SaaS or AI businesses or automation businesses, any type of business. Okay, and this one formula is basically about one single element, which is the core of any business that it's going to be growing and scaling up. And this one core element is trust. So the reason why you have difficulties with winning more clients that they pay a lot of money such that you can reinvest in marketing so you can scale up your business quickly is the lack of trust. No matter what other topic or issue somebody might tell you, or you might think that there are the reasons for you being stuck on a certain income level, they all relate, in the end of the day, have to do with this one single thing, and it is the lack of trust. Potential clients, prospects don't trust you enough to give you a good sum of money to solve their problems. So how are we gonna solve this problem? I'm gonna give you like a real life example right now that illustrates it very well what I'm gonna be talking about. I've got friends in Germany, they had trouble to find a girlfriend. So obviously in Germany, it's a country where a lot of singles and very fewer and fewer people are actually marrying and getting kids and everything. It's a big problem also for the social democrats. And people only think about work, basically, apparently. I got friends there and they're very successful in business. So they got enough money to afford basically anything you can buy, more or less. And so he was thinking, okay, I'm gonna be now really trying to date a lot of girls and try to attract them into my life. So he decided to buy a Ferrari, a Rolex watch and everything, because he wants to attract nice, young, beautiful women and so on. And in the end of the day, as the years go by, I was asking him, okay, how did it go, buying this Ferrari and driving around like on the weekends and things like that, because it's not really a daily car you want to drive every single day. And he said, well, yeah, after teasing me a little bit, because it was a pretty good friend, he wouldn't tell it to anybody, but he said, well, I didn't really had that many good dates. And then I was saying, okay, so when did you sell your Ferrari? Because it obviously didn't work. And then he said, well, I still got my Ferrari, in my garage, and I still keep driving it up on, maybe 5 or 10 times a year or something, And then I was thinking, okay, so how much, this is a pretty expensive Ferrari, right? And how much is it actually going to cost you? And he said something like, yeah, Ferrari was like a couple of $100,000 euros. But it's also like the maintenance cost that's really like a pain in the ass, because it's almost like 20 grand a year, because insurance and You need to maintenance and all that kind of stuff. A Ferrari car is like one of the cars with the highest maintenance costs. And now, as a normal person, you might think, okay, why the hell is he still paying for that car if it's not really working out? The reason for that is the trust. The belief in that brand is so strong that he keeps paying for it even though there are no results. The belief generated through the brand, which is nothing else but the trust into a certain product that gives you some certain results, is so strong. Even though he does not get the results, he will still keep paying for this product or service. And the same is for services. And this is very important for you to understand. So the reverse of that is, if you don't have a brand, or the smaller, the more unknown you are, the smaller you are, the less you can charge, because the less trust people have into your capabilities on your service offer, whatever we offer, your product, to achieve the results. So the reverse of this is, no matter how good your results are going to be, if you have no brand, therefore no trust, you will be forced to charge very little in order to prove yourself to get the results in the first place. Okay? So what is the overall strategy in terms of marketing and sales, and what is the solution for you? The solution for you is, the smaller your visibility, the smaller your brand, the smaller your trust you have that prospects have in you, the more you have to go down in price. Okay, so that's unfortunately the payoff. So now you're saying, Thomas, okay, well, I thought you promised me a solution, a strategy where I can have high margins, high price, high ticket, earn a lot of money, reinvest it into marketing and scale up my business like crazy. Yes, but the smaller your brand, the smaller the trust of prospects into whatever you're offering, the lower the price has to be to do the first sale. Okay? And this is very important to understand. Your first sale has to be very low in price, basically almost for free. The outcome has to be utmost effective, so you have to do a top job. And this will generate the necessary trust to then subsequently charge for the next product, so-called upsell, cross-sell, and so forth, a lot more money. And even if that doesn't work the first time, the second time, the third time, you will still generate really satisfied clients, which will then give you testimonials. And these you can then use to build up your brand fairly quickly. So this is the real way of doing it. So one day you're going to have a brand just like Ferrari, where people pay you lots of money basically, no matter what the results are at the end, So there's a long way to go to have a brand like Ferrari, obviously. But this is the way, and this is what you really have to understand. And this is basically the brick wall you have to go through in order to scale up your business successfully. As a prerequisite of that is obviously to charge high prices, but a prerequisite of that is to build up the necessary trust/brand, such that prospects trust in what you offering is the top-notch result that they are wishing for. And if you have the right audience targeting, then the price is, in the end of the day, not the most relevant thing for them. It is the time and it is the quality of work that you do. So how fast and how high quality can you deliver, and maybe even over-deliver, okay? So these are the actual very important things if you're targeting high-value client audiences. And where you find these high-value client audiences, you can figure out when you book an appointment with us. We can talk about it. I'm offering like a 15 to 20-minute free discovery call, and you find a link here below on the website, and then we can figure out where do you find these clients. But If your brand is low, the trust is low, visibility is low, therefore you need to start with a very low price. That's the key. That's basically the sacrifice you have to do in order that then later on the stage to build up a very, very nice brand and charge a lot more money in the end of the day, okay? Given the fact that you have very good time frame, very good quality, and maybe even the ability to over-deliver whatever was promised as part of your offering, okay? If that's okay for you, then book an appointment with me and we'll see you on the other side. See you later. Happy hunting. Bye-bye.